G'day everyone, we are reviewing a new fantastic game called The Mushroom Man, and it is the sequel, Truffle. This is a puzzle 3D platformer released in March 2015 on Windows Steam. It supports English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and that's about it, I think, on the interface. But the game itself doesn't actually need that much dialogue, which is good. So it's the sequel of two previous games that was released on the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo Wii. It's good to see that this time they went with a more recent approach and released the game on Steam Greenlight and the crowd-funded model as an indie game instead of using a normal commercial AAA type budget approach. So this time Redfire Studio, which was the same developer that released the Nintendo Wii ones, ended up becoming the publisher and the developer. So breaking away from their previous alliance with Gamecock Media Group. I think that's right. I guess if you had to compare this indie game to other ones of its type, I would probably classify it as same sort of game as Trine. And Trine wasn't a bad game either. I haven't really been into Nintendo Wii or Wii games at all, but I do like platformer games. So this game doesn't actually need that much to run on your computer, which is good. The minimum specs are Windows XP, 32-bit with Service Pack 3, doesn't support 64-bit. Needs a 2GB processor, 2GB of RAM, graphics card with Pixel Shader 3, so that should be DirectX 10 possibly. No, sorry, DirectX 9 C. So really low budget there, 2GB hard drive, so should work on any laptop and any PC basically from what people are using these days. The game does have really good, beautiful graphics, and the simplicity of it makes it ideal game for kids, young at heart and old as well. This would be a good game to play with a joypad. It doesn't have two-player, which is unfortunately. It'd be a great game to play on the weekend or Friday night on a Steam box connected to a TV. The original game was released on the Nintendo Wii, so it's good to see that these console games are coming out on PC, and it shows that Steam and crowdfunding isn't influencing the indie game scene. The game is sold for US $12 on the USA Steam Store and the Aussie Steam Store, so there's no geo price differencing there. I'll just have a little quote from one website, which is the Invasion community in the UK. They're saying the game plays out fairly similar to other platforming games with a neat twist, which involves several blocks laying around the level. From start to finish, you are being chased by the Truffle princess, which means there's not a lot of time to linger around in the level unless you want to be in her clutches. Maybe you do. And that's pretty much what the single player story aspect I think is. You continually on the run from the woman for some reason, but I'm not really into single player storylines. Myself, I found the game system, you're controlling our little hero of the day called Pax. You can control with the keyboard AEST and W. He can control blocks, interacting with him by dragging him around, stacking him, carrying him, which helps you go onwards and sideways through the world, questing along, through to achieve world domination, or at least go on to the next level. I found it cute that you could actually walk up to a side, well, the edge of the block, and he got a bit giddy and he started like swaying around, going backwards and forwards. Also, you can get the little PAX guide to go to the side of the block and ninja across sideways, so it's quite cool. Often in a lot of these arcade-ish type games, you have different abilities or power-ups. So this game has power-ups. You collect mushroom spores, and when you get the mushroom spores, you fill up the mushrooms, and once it's to a certain level, it gives you abilities. So to fill up the mushroom spores, you have to jump up and down on the baddies' heads without getting eaten. The more mushroom spores you collect, the more abilities you'll get eventually. The first one I came across was one called Ghost Mode, which lets you stealthily ninja past baddies without having to kill everyone. So you just bouncy on their heads normally, but if you're stealthy, you just jump over them. You can't rebind the keyboard controls, which I found let down for me. That's pretty bad. It does come up with a chart saying what they are, and it supports joysticks and joypads. Yet another game I feel could be enhanced on the PC by supporting 2-player, either multiplayer co-op or split screen on the PC, considering you're seeing games like AEST support 2, 3 and even 4 screens on one computer. Why are they not putting all this processing power into these like cards like the Titan X and whatever is replacing it now with like, you know, $900 video cards, and you can't support 2 people on one system? Crazy. Please support this AAA and indie devs. Must admit I haven't put that many hours into it, but from what I've experienced so far, it'll be a great game for younger kids, and possibly the ideal social game to connect to your joypad, connect up to a TV and play while you're drunk or inebriated on the weekends, while your friends watch you make a complete fool of yourself. So in the end, as a wrap up, do I think this game is worth $12 for myself? Well, for myself, which is $12 US, which is 15, sadly, no, I don't think it's worth that. Possibly if it was $5 or $6, it would be more of a worth supported. But it lacks replay. I think once you finish the storyline, you can't do it again, or you might get bored of it. It doesn't have co-op. It doesn't have split screens, so for me, I'm not saying it. For anyone else, especially if you had a kid, then yeah, go right ahead and get it. Otherwise, maybe put it on Steam's wish list and see when it comes up on special. It is definitely worth pinning for that and seeing how much cheaper it comes down the track. And that should be everything I've covered in my review. Thank you for checking out my video, hearing my little rant. Of course, you can leave a comment. Feel free to share the video and subscribe, and have an awesome weekend. Thank you again for watching, and Charlie up.